Okay guys, we are just cleaning off in a really short live here, and I'm basically just watering and cleaning off panels here in the greenhouse, watering some of the grapes and the blackberries and the roses. We are doing a very, very quick live here, just because we have the hose pulled out. We got to keep these clean. So this is what I do to basically wash the panels every year, spray them down, take out the debris, and get a little watering in too. It's also how I knock the leaves down off of my roses. All the old leaves. Give our roses a good clean out, knock off a lot of the old debris that's kind of left behind from the winter, to get them ready for the growing season this year. All right, let's see what else that we got here. I've got to get over to the other side, but you can see here, now that I've been spraying, what happens is it knocks a lot of that debris that sits on the panels off. And then what we do is we just brush and sweep the rest of it off. But it also gives me an excuse to water. So if you look down here, I've got hops. So when I start cleaning out all of these leaves, we'll have the opportunity to also water. So killing two birds with one stone. So this area here was all hops, and you'll find that hops will actually grow around your cattle panel or anything that you've got, just like a grapevine. They get really thick and really hard to remove. So before they die, you got to make sure you take them out. So I missed a few, and so now I'm just cleaning off leaves off of the panes. Now, we did a live a little bit earlier, but I thought, hey, you know what? I'm in here, I'm watering, I'm cleaning. I thought I'd just take you along. And in this tray, what we have here, because we're going to keep continuing to plant, is we've got thyme, rosemary, celery, broccoli. Now, if you're on my live earlier, you know that I had a purple broccoli that I was planting, so we've started broccoli over again in 2 trays here. And then we also have a purple cauliflower. Both the broccoli and the cauliflower are purple. And we've started a tray of onions, so they haven't come up yet. And we're sort of in that transplant mode. For those of you that weren't on the live earlier, here is some of the plants. We've got eggplant, we've got 46 tomato plants started, and these will all be directly put into the ground of the greenhouse from here. So now we get to go over to my messy table here. And we're going to be transplanting Barbados peppers. So I don't know if any of you have tried these. They are tiny little peppers that are extremely hot, and I kind of overplanted too many. So we'll be sharing and saving the seeds from that. But these are a Barbados pepper, very similar to a hot of a cayenne, if not a little bit hotter. So if you like hot and spicy, these are definitely for you. And I have pots that are left over from last year's garden. So what we'll do is we'll just fill up some of these pots with our beautiful potting soil. So we ended up, don't know if you have Sam's Club where you are or you have Costco, but these are some of the potting soils that I get. This is actually from Costco, so go big or go home. So we got 2 bags, and then that's how I'll be transplanting a lot of my seeds this year. So we need scissors, and I need something to scoop these with. I've got ants already in here. Jeez. I have pots, but I also use drinking cups, guys, because sometimes you can find them in the dollar store cheaper. If anybody has a better idea or they've got somewhere where they shop for something different, let me know. But usually what we do is we just put a little hole in the bottom, and then we use drink cups if we run out of these little tiny little potting soil pots. So let's grab our scissors. I'm gonna make it real simple. I'm gonna cut it right from the middle, as opposed to lifting the bag. Let's just get in here. I'm gonna open this up. Oh yeah, that's better. All right, switch hands on the righty. There we go. Okay. Now sometimes what people will do, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but some people will just take their entire bags of soil and cut a hole in them like this and plant their herb garden and everything for the summer, just in a bag. Has anybody ever tried bag planting? Hi guys, thanks for joining. I'm seeing that some of you were on the live earlier. So this is the little potting soil bags that we use. Really nice soil, nice crumbly soil. So let's fill up some of these pots and let's do some transplanting, I think, of our Barbados pepper. Grab our little pots. And for those of you just joining that wasn't on the live this morning, guys, this is my geodesic dome greenhouse. So this is 1,385 square feet of growing space with steel garden beds and a whole lot of fun and craziness that happens in here. And I'll just give a really quick tour. Hi guys. Here is the crabapple tree. That is just doing amazing in here. We've got snow on the ground outside, but we've got a beautiful crab tree just going gangbusters in here. And then we walk down here. Our plum tree is in full bloom. Take a look at that. Isn't that amazing? So we're going to keep this live really short. I think I stayed on the last live, guys, this morning, almost 2 hours. And I thought I was really only on there for an hour. So let's get our little pots here. And fill some of these up. And then we're going to try and see if we can... Boy, I'm going to need a lot of pots. And I hate killing the little plants that I poured too much seed in, so I don't want to get rid of it. So let's bring a couple of these over here. Once again, these are just potting soil bags that I get from Costco. They do the job. They've pretty much grown our seeds every year. We're just going to fill this up. It's nice dirt, nice brown dirt. Sometimes you'll get sort of these large pieces of wood in it. I just take them out. And then fill this up, and we're going to transplant our Barbados peppers. So to have full plum blossoms, guys, in the middle, pretty much, I'd say the middle of spring is pretty good. We still have snow on the ground here in Manitoba. I don't know where some of you are, but we are still battling winter. It's actually been very challenging. So here's my little Barbados pepper. Once again, it's a hot pepper. I'm just going to put that right in here. There we go. Hi, guys. Thanks very much for the hearts. I really appreciate it. I love showing the love on the channel, guys. Thanks a lot. Let's fill up a few of these, actually. Now, I hadn't planned on actually going live again, but I thought, you know what? Why don't we just do a quick little live while I'm doing some plants? I might actually put 2 in one because they're so small right now. Because from here, after we fill these and the plants have sat in these and they've gotten a little bit of size to them, they're just going to go right into the greenhouse, right into the greenhouse soil. So there won't be any further transplanting from here. Okay. Thanks for the love, you guys. Awesome. Look at the hearts just filling up on the screen. I love that. All right. Made my day. Really made my Saturday. This is really something to celebrate. And I got to say, my husband this morning told me I should do a TikTok live, and I have had a YouTube channel for almost 5 years. And I was really reluctant on trying TikTok and going on TikTok, and my TikTok account's only a year old. And I wasn't really sure how people were going to feel about gardening, but I'm really starting to see that people are really liking the gardening, even if it's something just a quick live to show what we're doing in terms of transplanting. So this morning I got on a live and I went 2 hours talking about plants, which I didn't even know was possible. So I think what I'm going to do, because these are so small, is I'm going to do 2 per pot. I think that's acceptable. And a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll save seed. Here we go. I'll save the seed from the plants and I'll put them up in our Etsy store to share them. There's only so much seed I can save and keep for myself. So we just put it up in the Etsy store. So I think there's a link on my TikTok for my Etsy store. And then that will show you some of the seeds that we have available this year. We don't do live plants. I would love to do live plants, guys, and ship them out. I'm losing my pepper here. But unfortunately, the shipping is really expensive. And so we don't ship out the live plants anymore. We used to. I even used to ship out horseradish. There we go. So we just stuck to seeds. 2 per pot. Hi, guys. Thanks very much for the love. Look at this. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Paul. Hi, Shazia. Hi, Bro. Hamburger. Husseini. Hi. Okay. There we go. These 2 are kind of stuck together. So what we're trying to do is really just separate the roots so that we don't hurt the plant. And these 2 are sort of entangled together, see? So let's... Oh, there we go. Haha. Going to make a little bit of a indent in the soil. This one actually is really getting some size to it. Some of these are smaller than others. There we go. All right. So once again, these are a Barbados pepper. For those of you who like hot food and hot sweet spice, this is definitely for you. All right, let's get some more pots. I'll probably run out of pots before I even finish getting these planted. These up. But we have lots of small little pots, but we'll use these drink cups up first. Does anybody else use drink cups for their potting? Try to keep it a little bit cheaper than buying actual plant potters, because those are expensive now. Really, really expensive. Anybody go to the dollar store into the drink section and get some of these cups for transplanting? Because they're a lifesaver. There you go. So all we're doing is just filling these little pots. And then we'll take these 3 over. So this is a process. It is a process, but we've got the space to do it. And it's beautiful in here, guys. It's 25 degrees. Let me just go over and check while we're here together. So let's see. You probably won't be able to see this, but the temperature is actually at 30. When the temperature hits about 33 degrees, what happens in this greenhouse is it's on a temperature monitor, and you'll see this panel poke straight out to allow for the ventilation in the greenhouse. And I also have one on the other side and fans. So that helps with humidity, heat, and anything else, and including bugs, because sometimes the bugs get sucked up through the fan and out, which is awesome. So that helps that helps us a lot, trying to keep the heat down in here. I have had it almost 40 degrees in here before we had the panels up. And it was a challenge, even with the door open to garden. So really thankful for my husband's creativity. Here we go. And I'm trying to do this without injuring the seedling little plant. Here we go. Okay, we got 2 in there. So what's happened, guys, is I don't have the heart to get rid of some of these pepper plants. I actually opened a seed, like a seed packet the other day, probably about 2 weeks ago, and I accidentally dumped the whole thing in, thinking, oh, you know what, I didn't really have great success with these last year. They really didn't do anything. And guess what? The whole seed packet took. So I'm not going to destroy them. We are going to grow them out. We've got the room, so let's just do it. All right, here we go. 2 more. Has anybody done that before? Made a mistake and dumped too many seeds in, but didn't have the heart to rogue the plants? Are there any new gardeners on the channel today? Please feel free to ask any questions, guys. That's what I'm here for. Even if it's questions about the raised beds or the greenhouse or the temperature, feel free to ask. There we go. This is what we got so far. Oh, and don't forget my tea. I have to have a drink of tea. There we go. So now we got to make room for these. And since I think I'm out of drink cups, I think I'm done because I did so many plants the other day. Actually, yeah, we'll just use these for right now. I got these, I don't know, probably 2 years ago now. I don't know what the cost of these little planters are now. I think I paid $20 for 40 of them. They come in handy. They don't last, they might last 2 seasons, but that's about it. They're very thin. Oh, I got one more drink cup left. Here we go. And that's why I like the drink cups, because you can use them season after season. I think I've gotten about 4 seasons out of some of the cups. There we go. There's that one. Oh, yes, here we go. And you know what? The drink cups are deeper than these. These are really shallow. But they'll do for now for the transplanting. Okay. Thanks to everybody that has joined in to watch me try and attempt to pot up all of these hot peppers that I made a mistake and dumped an entire seed packet, not paying attention. Thinking that they probably wouldn't take because they didn't take last year. I got 1 plant. This year, I have them all. So I've had this greenhouse now for about 5 years, and it's been a project. It took us 4 days to put it up. And then basically what I did was I got hydro added to it, so it's got lights. We usually like to light it up during the holidays, different colors. So Christmas it'll be red, Easter it'll be blue. Sometimes if it's Halloween, I'll light it up red, for that Scorsese red color to make it creepy. So we like to do all kinds of things with it, and it's actually been a really good investment. And just for those that are wondering where I got the greenhouse from, I do get that question quite a bit. Take a peek at Arctic Acres. So Arctic Acres is the one that sells these greenhouse kits. I bought mine 5 years ago, guys, so I don't know the cost. You'll have to double check on the site. Here we go. Hi, Butterfly. Hi, Sweets. Thanks for everybody who's joining and showing the love up the side of the screen. I love that. All right. I know, guys, this is painful, hey? Look at all of this. They're too healthy. I don't want to get rid of them. But I am going to have a surplus of hot peppers I wasn't expecting. There we go. I had to get all of this done anyway, so I figure why not? Just bring you guys along while I transplant all of these. Has anybody started any of their seeds yet? Because it's almost time. Has anybody started any peppers or tomatoes or anything in the windowsill or under some lights? Let's see, here we go. Look at these. These are just beautiful. All right, so far so good. How many do we have left? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got about 7 left. So we're gonna grab another pot. And we are going to plant them all. Let's do it. All right, here we go. I'm hoping that the panels on the side here pop so you guys can see it and see how they open. But it's getting windy out and it's getting chilly outside. Okay, oh, I got one more in here, so this is becoming a challenge. So tell me, who is a new gardener? Who has any questions? Who has a greenhouse? Has anybody started any plants yet? Aw, thanks, guys. Thanks for all the hearts. That's awesome. Okay. Here we go. Doing all of these videos and starting these channels, I've actually learned how to be ambidextrous. Just as much work with my left hand. I'm a righty, but I can do everything now with my left hand as well. It's just pretty funny. All right. Okay, so here we go. These plants look ridiculously healthy. Okay, we're going to add that to our collection. There we go. Oh, here we go. Take a peek up here. There we go. So now what happens is the temperature has said, hey, it's too hot in here, and our temperature regulator has now pushed open the vents on either side of the greenhouse, helping to regulate that temperature. If you look over here, it does the same thing across. So we do have that nice cross breeze. It's boiling in here, it's 30 degrees, but now we can pop that and they will automatically close once it gets under 30 degrees. They'll close back up. So that comes in handy too, guys, if you're working or you forget about closing up for the night. I don't have to open my door, which is nice. But there are days sometimes where you go to bed and you forget about it, and having something automated is really nice because you don't have to worry about, hey, did I close the panel on the greenhouse manually? So really, really handy. So both of these will stay open and they create this beautiful cross breeze and it'll let out all that heat. So it makes it bearable in here, and then we've got the nice breeze that hits the plants. And I can tell you that when you have this open and it's crossing through the way that it is, it also helps with pollination. So if there are times where you'll have plants where they'll say self-pollinating, but they still need to have that, the pollinators and things like that around. And the breeze helps carry the pollen. It's kind of nice. So we go and see the crabapple trees getting that nice breeze. So it's really, really cool. Hi guys, thanks for all the love. I'm seeing the hearts go up the side of the screen. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Thanks for joining me on my gardening adventures. I'm sure there's going to be a lot we're going to learn together. On the live earlier, I was saying that maybe we should do gardening once a week. I was on the live this morning, I think accidentally, for about 2 hours. So I think what I'll do is I'll do it once a week, maybe twice, or maybe sporadically, because that's fun too. And we'll do some gardening together. These ones are entangled. Look, the roots are all joined together. Oh, that breeze feels so good. Here we go. So we want to put that in there. And there we go. And how many do I have left? Oh, there's only 3. I might just put all 3 of them in here so we don't have to create another pot just for one guy. So here we go. Yep. And then we'll take one of these. Ooh, it is windy out. And there we have it. Pots big enough still where they won't interfere with each other. And here we go. So I'll show you them closing now because it's under 30 degrees. They're gonna button up. Here we go. So that one is done. And if you look across the room, that one's closed as well. So that happens pretty much, this will happen every day now, pretty much all summer, where these will open and close based on the temperature settings that we have in here, and we don't have to worry about babysitting the temperature, which is kind of nice. All right. So we've joined 3 peppers here in one pot. There we go. Okay, so these are all of them that we planted. Now I use and reuse all of my soil, so we'll use that again. Here we go. So we planted, let's see, and of course they're going into shock because we've separated them from that one big root ball that they were. And there we go. So here we are. We've planted Barbados peppers, which are spicy. For those of you that just joined, I accidentally dumped an entire seed packet of Barbados peppers in one cup, and they all took. So I decided to keep them all, and we just separated them. There we go. For those of you that just joined, here is some of the plants that I have started here in the greenhouse. So we have hot and sweet peppers, of course, and take a look at this, guys. We have buds on our bell peppers already. Wow, that's fast. We have cucumbers, more tomatoes and hot peppers in the back. Orange peppers, which are kind of cool. Look at all these buds. I'm getting flowers already. I haven't even put them in the ground. And then we also have eggplant. Take a look at this eggplant, guys. Let me go out here. Usually eggplant is really fussy, but this one just took off, and it's really enjoying being in the greenhouse. And we have, in the back here, we've got broccoli. So we were growing a purple broccoli. You can see the spine of the broccoli here is actually purple. So this will be a nice, big, solid head of purple broccoli. And we're also growing purple cauliflower as well. So far, we've got 46 tomato plants planted. And they all took. And we'll be planting those around the greenhouse. And for those of you that weren't on the live this morning, I'll just take a quick walk around the greenhouse so you can see. Springtime is always the messiest in the greenhouse because we're cleaning up and we're getting the plants ready. So here we go. So we just cleaned off the roses. And our roses are blooming. Sending out their leaves. And I never learned my lesson, guys. I never wear any gloves. But it's not a great day when you hit those thorns, let me tell you. Look at that. Death thorns. And surprisingly, on the live this morning, we found asparagus. So in my blackberry bed here next to the roses, I have a little spear of asparagus. So I'll show you that if I can get up close here. There we go. We have an heirloom purple asparagus that's just started to come up in the greenhouse. The asparagus will be done probably in about a month before the other asparagus comes up out of the ground. So it's kind of nice. What happens is you have that sort of staggered asparagus, which is sort of nice. And then we have our horseradish. So for those of you with a brown thumb who say that you kill every plant you plant, you cannot kill a horseradish plant. I have tried. Even if you scoop out the horseradish and you let the root dry out, if you apply water to it, it comes back to life. It's like a zombie plant. It's crazy. So I've confined it to this bed, and no matter what I do, it grows back every year, no matter how much I pick. So I let the leaves grow. We use the leaves. You can eat the leaves and put it in your food. And then in the fall, that's when you get that nice spicy horseradish that you plant, or that you actually pick out of the ground that you can use in your sauces. So this has become my permanent horseradish bed. I do have another plum tree, but it's actually behind the other one, so I'll have a staggered blooming, which is nice. We have a sitting area here and behind. And I'll show you, walk through here. For those of you that haven't seen my YouTube channel, Not a Real Farm, we have plants. We'll be planting tomatoes and peppers that will go the entire circumference of the greenhouse. So that bed goes all the way around to the other side. So you can grow a lot of food in here. Aw, thanks for the hearts, guys. This is amazing. I never really thought anybody would like to see the inside of the greenhouse and garden, but you know what? Maybe I'm thinking we should probably do this more often. Here is a cherry bush. So this is not really going to get any bigger, probably than about 5 feet. We keep it trimmed, and it's basically alive. Check out the buds. It's just awesome. So here is the bed. My hops have come alive, so they are starting to send out their buds. I don't know if I can get close enough to show you because they're so dark and it's kind of shadowy over here, but I'm going to put myself down in the mud here so you guys can see. So when you plant hops, hops basically send out runners. Do you see those there? Those are runners from the hops. And what happens is these will now, you can separate your hops and have a completely different plant and plant it somewhere else. If you don't want that, you can just break this off and they won't. I'm breathing in dirt. So we have the hops sending out its runners, and I'm probably going to trim it because it's already started budding, and we are going to have a successful hops year. So that's kind of cool that you got to see that. This is the second year for the hops that I have. Let me lean over into the dirt here. See how they're starting to swell? All of these buds will send out what's called a bine, and a bine will hook onto your cattle panel or whatever you've got just like a grapevine. It's crazy. They're all woody, so you got to make sure that if you are going to grow them, cut them off before they actually get like that. Don't pay attention to what I did because I forgot about them, and I'm paying for it this year. So they have started to do their thing. So we'll have a lot of hops flowers. What do we use them for? So hops, if you look back in hops history, hops used to be used for sleeping. So you can put hops in a tea, and you can also use it to brew beer or make fermented drinks. So I do a lot of my own kombucha, and I'll put the flowers in that for flavoring. So it's pretty cool. Let me turn around here. I'm at the back of the greenhouse now. And I'll go really quickly here. We've got gooseberries that are coming out. Once again, watch out for the thorns on a gooseberry. It is not a good day, trust me, when you get those thorns in your fingers. Our grapevines are starting to look like they're leaking, and they are, because when a grapevine is ready to start sending out buds and sending out its leaves, you'll see that it leaks. And that's a perfectly normal thing for a grapevine. Let me just go around here. I'll show you the other one. My yoga kitty is next to my crabapple tree. And of course, we have onions coming up as well. And let's get to the other grapevine here. So this grapevine, this one is a little bit older than the other one. It's about 4 years old. I've done all the trimming on it already. So with the grapevine here, I'm getting old now. I'm trying to bend down. I'm getting old. All right, so here we go with this grapevine. So with this grapevine, you'll see that there are buds here. And you can see here where the trunk actually looks like it's wet, like somebody sprayed it with water, and that's perfectly normal because the grapevine actually sends out a sap, almost like a maple tree when it's ready for sugaring. And then you'll start seeing all these little buds come out. So it's kind of cool. So if you end up buying grapes, don't panic if you start seeing them drip. That's a normal thing that happens in the springtime. So I have a Frontenac grape, and I have a Brianna grape. My favorite one is the Brianna grape because the Brianna grape is like sugar. So for those of you that like a really sweet grape and a table grape that lasts, Brianna, that's my favorite. For those of you that want to make juice and jam, the Frontenac, or wine, depending on what you want to do. Oh, thanks very much for the hearts, guys. I really appreciate it. Hi, guys. Hi, Nat. Okay. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to go around and sort of give you a quick live to show that we're transplanting and to basically come back online and just let everybody see the greenhouse and the gloriousness, which is not a word, of the beauty of it. It's just amazing having a greenhouse that you're able to come into. It's 42 feet, just in case anybody wants to know, and it's 1,350 square feet, so it's pretty big. It's probably one of the biggest ones that you can get in terms of a residential one. And once again, if you want to check it out, it's on Arctic Acres. I think they have different packages on there, but I'm not sure of what the pricing is. I bought mine 5 years ago. And the last question that I get is, where do I get my garden beds from? So the garden beds, guys, come from a company in Ontario called raisedgardenbeds.ca. And they're steel, which is awesome. They don't rust. You don't have to replace anything on them. And we have another 10 beds outside. Actually, I think it's about 12 now because we got a few more. So we'll be able to show you all the different things and that grow in those as well. So this is the very beginning where everything looks bare. But I'm going to take you along with me this growing season so that I can show you the transformation that happens in here as the season changes. Thanks very much for joining me today, guys. I really appreciate the hearts, and I really appreciate everybody that joined on the second live today. See you soon.